I think Jasmine is an obnoxious fool.
Quiet scene on board for Delta flight.
Say your name. You may not get the job tomorrow.
Now
And she turned around and saw me and
that he was straight. If he had flat told us, hey, I am talking to other people.
I can't.
Straight?
Okay, I guess I'm straight.
I'm just asking. Tonight, the headlines are blazing, the hot takes getting hotter, and the panel the hottest. Unfiltered, unstoppable. We're not jumping in feet first tonight. Oh no, we're diving face first into the chaos that's unfolded this week. So buckle up, because this is the live stream they don't want you to see. The panel you can't cancel. So without further ado, let's jump in face first.
Wait, that's happening now? West Virginia Wire, Regina reacts. Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Regina Connell, your host for tonight. This is the panel you can't cancel. We are streaming live right now across the Rumble platform, the YouTube platform, and X. We are talking about Harry Sisson tonight. We are talking about Jasmine Crockett and a new candidate that's on the scene that will be running against her, that is running against her, and so much more. And I am co-hosted tonight with my husband, Big Russ.
We're also covering Trump's tariffs, social media firings, and the hands-off rallies. Stay tuned for an action-packed evening.
Hey everybody, my name is Big Russ. Welcome to the show tonight, and I am your co-host for the evening, your voice of reason. Well, maybe. This live stream is not about playing nice. It's about playing fair, and we're just going to tell it like it is tonight. So come join us. Put your comments in the comment section, and let's get after it.
That's right. Tonight we are unfiltered. Tonight we have some great panelists with us. This was my AI co-host. I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. It was a lot to navigate. So right now we're going to bring up Mixed Texan Report, you guys. And then we have another guest coming tonight. As soon as he comes in the house, we'll be happy to bring him up on the stage. You guys, thank you for joining us tonight. If you are coming back, please hit that like, share, and subscribe. If you're new, hey, stick it through. And if we've earned your subscription, we're grateful. If you're liking what you're hearing so far, go ahead and hit that like. It won't cost you anything. All right, Mixed Texan Report. Tell everybody who you are and what you're about.
I am Mixed Texan from Mixed Texan Report. I cover a lot of Texas news, especially the border. That's a big thing I cover. But we have, Texas is a big state, over 30 million people. So with that being said, we have a lot of things happening here. A lot of good, great economy, lots of land, lots of opportunity. But then with the people comes problems. So we have crime. We have the border right here, 1,200 miles of border. So it's a lot going on in my big, beautiful state.
Yeah, let's everybody remember that Texas was a country before the United States was formed. And thankfully, Texas decided to become part of the United States of America. And they don't have any state taxes in your state, do they, Donovan?
No, a lot of property taxes, but we're hopefully get that worked on. So it worked out fairly soon. So yeah.
Yeah. So we'll give it a few minutes and let see if Uncle Penny comes in the room. So I didn't play the whole of that intro video. I was really nervous, had my nervous energy going, and there was another part of it, but we can get into that later. For right now, we'll go ahead and play our intro that we normally play during these things, and let's kick this off, get the segments going, and see what happens. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Wait, that's happening now?
From mountains to the rivers wide, tune in, it's time to take the ride. Regina's voice, it's your guide. West Virginia's heart, it's right inside. West Virginia, why hear the news? Politics and stories, we're shaping you. From the capital to the county.
All right, guys, we're back. So I was just checking my messages, making sure everything's good. We've got good sound, and I have people on the panel with me, so I know that we're doing okay for sound. All right, guys, so the first topic we're going to be getting into tonight is the Harry Sisson scandal. And for those of you that aren't familiar, is everybody on the panel familiar with Mr. Harry Sisson and his shenanigans? You know who he is?
A little bit. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I've seen some stuff on YouTube and on other social media platforms.
Well, thankfully, the little mashup I put together, we pulled from content creators, Miss Angela Rose on the YouTube channel, as well as our girl, Melanie King. So let's get into this. Y'all ready to watch it?
Yep.
This morning, I watched a video from the liberal hive mind explaining who Harry Sisson truly is. So he considers himself a Gen Z activist. He is currently studying law and politics at NYU, and he gained a large following during the 2020 election when he showed his support for Joe Biden, and then nearly doubled that in 2024 during the Kamala Harris campaign. This Harry guy is managed by Palette Management, which received $200,000 from the DNC. And people will do a lot more for a lot less.
So Harry Sisson is feeling the heat on social media, but is it warranted? I actually say no. We'll get to that. Republican state
played by a TikTok influencer for 9 months.
These are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk.
I knew that this guy was a player.
It's just kind of funny to hear Harry Sisson and player in the same sentence.
You don't act this way at all on TikTok.
And the person he was receiving photos from, violently under wraps from you guys. And then I found out that she was talking to him.
I mean, he went so overboard in trying to prove that he was straight.
If he had flat told us, hey, I am talking to other people.
I can't. Okay. Yes, I'm straight.
I'm just asking.
Harry Sisson is a left-wing social media influencer who claimed that America failed women when Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election. But over the last few weeks, women have been coming out claiming that Harry Sisson
released
failed
my private text messages, private photos of me, intimate details about me that intended to stay private. I didn't consent to any of that.
Well, look who finally found his voice, little Harry Sisson.
All right, you guys, I didn't want to spend too much time on little Harry Sisson, but is he giving off alpha player vibe to anybody? I mean,
I mean, it looks like a wuss.
Yeah.
I mean, his personal information was released. How dare they?
What I know of him is basically what they said in the video. Is like, I know of him as a left-wing political troll, basically. Like, that's what he's known for, is following, making fun of Donald Trump supporters, and it goes around, to all these left-wing conventions and things like that, just trying to get under people's skin. And he goes on TikTok and all his social media platforms and just, bad mouths everything that, anybody that supports Donald Trump would do. And then here's these latest things when, like, you know, then you see him with all these women and stuff, and I think that was just all for show.
Yeah, and
Just
they're
to try to,
cute too. They're not, I
yeah.
mean, they're, and but he looks like a girl. I really think that he looks like a girl. He gives off girl vibes. There's so much more to that story, but there's a lot deeper stuff that I wanted to get into today. And especially since, we're really gonna, but what kills me about Harry Sisson is, he's not a United States citizen, right? So let's dig into that. If that would interest y'all, pull the receipts on that. So you could head on over to Melanie King and Angela Rose. They're really good. And there's a lot of other content creators that are giving the truth. So what is someone who's not a United States citizen doing? Voting. He voted, didn't he? Did he not vote?
I think he even said,
What?
bragged about him voting or whatever, but I don't think like I said, you got the proof, or somebody that you have watched has the proof of his non-citizenship or whatever, but
Wow.
So
what state does he live in?
Go ahead.
What state does he live in?
I don't think he belongs to a certain state. He travels around. He's like a professional, I wouldn't even call him a lobbyist. He's more like a social media. And you heard Angela Rose say that that foundation paid $200,000 to him. And I'll tell you, the younger millennial, he does a lot of stuff on Harry Sisson. You can find him on TikTok, and he's on a couple other platforms. I think he's on the X platform too. But he does a lot on Harry Sisson. And he's like, yeah, he gets paid all this money. And for what? And they complain about hungry people, homeless people, yet they're spending all this money on, we're not going to get to it right now. I don't want to give it all away. We're going to get to the hands-off rally. So tonight, guys, we're covering the Harry Sisson thing right now. Next, we're going to jump into Jasmine Crockett and her new opponent. And then we're going to talk about making content at work and a couple of wild stories. So you guys, I want to give you a disclaimer that some of this stuff is sensitive. There's some violent things that happen, but I think it's stuff we need to watch and we definitely need to talk about. So anybody want to spend any more time on Sissy Sisson?
no, because I don't know that much about him.
Thank God.
I don't know a whole lot about him, but I'll keep an eye on it though.
You should. Any girls
Looks
come?
like a
Yeah. Totally. All right. Let's see. Let me take that one down. All right, guys, we're gonna head into the next one. This one's a little bit longer of a clip. The first part of it's about 5 minutes long, but I think it's important to see this. You ready, guys?
When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm Black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So
Starting with on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes.
Elections in Texas as a Democrat. What do you do? How do you win elections in Texas as a Democrat? What do you do? Especially statewide, but
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. I think and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head like hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him, like, at all. Like, you go clean off on him, right?
And if we continue to put people into office, and that even means some of our skin folk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, like, I mean, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better.
I just have to stop her right there. Did you hear that? Some of these kinfolk who ain't our skin folk, or these skin folk who ain't our kinfolk. Is that what she said? Did you want to comment on that, Donovan?
You know, I have a lot to say about her. She said just a lot of foolish things. I mean, for one, she's 44 years old and she's acting like she's 20. You know, man, I was surprised to hear that she's she's not
She's
old, but
44.
yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
I mean, yeah, she looks young. I commend her for that. You know, for that she takes care of herself, whatever. But she also has these big eyelashes and all that. Somebody said she gets them from China, so her eyelashes will be tariffed. So
Stop it. Go ahead, I'm listening.
But she just says a lot of foolishness, and she said something about, I don't know if you played it yet, if you're going to play, but about Byron Donald's wife, that him being married to a woman who is not black. So I don't think that's appropriate. It's not fair at all to say. I mean, I don't like it. But I'm glad she's being primary though.
Yeah, I think it's perfect that you said that about Byron Donalds. Because is it Daniels or Donalds?
Donalds.
Sorry, forgive me, Mr. Because actually, you gave context because that's coming up next. Did you want to say anything real quick, baby?
Yeah, and I think Donovan will agree with me. Like, she's a perfect example of what represents the entire Democratic Party. She's as racist as they come, you know. But all of the Democratic Party, in my opinion, have those racial tendencies. They say a bunch of things like that, and but I think it's laughable that they're even put her on the pedestal that they do.
Yeah.
It's got to be an embarrassing thing coming from the great state of Texas to have somebody like that, even on the opposite side of what, you know, the Republicans represent, because it's just laughable. I don't think anybody really takes her serious. I'm not even sure how she got into the position that she's in. Like, who in Texas voted for, like, to get her there? Like,
that's a good question, and I think we need to be asking those questions. And you know, I think what kills me the most about her is, you know, it's the race baiting, definitely, you know, but how she flat out unapologetically tells people, if you do not look like me, you are not of me. If you're mixed, if you're any of it. I mean, just the statements that she flat out makes. So let's get into this and let's finish listening to these statements, because they are outlandish and I think they are unacceptable. And we are going to be going way back, you guys, because I actually included some footage from when Miss Crockett came on the scene. Let's check it out.
They're under Jim Crow. Like, is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you? I'm not really sure like what it is.
But I didn't be married to a white woman under Jim
Correct.
Crow.
Correct. And it took Joy to call him.
I thought she said at first it took Joy to call him out, but she said it's a joy to call him out. All right, let's keep going.
What are you saying? Like, he just out here, you know, I feel like they give him his talking points and he's like, yes, master. Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Did y'all hear that? Did you hear what that man asked? Listen up. Listen up. Listen really carefully. Now, this is Jasmine Crockett. Do you guys remember when this happened? This is when the beef started. Yep. This is the white lady that was bullying her in Congress. So let's keep going.
Give him his talking points and he's like, yes, master. Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Did you hear that? Yeah, right. That's what they talk about. Right. All right, let's keep going.
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath
even
order.
Unacceptable.
How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person? Are your feelings hurt? Her words down.
Oh,
Oh, girl, baby girl. oh, really? Don't even play, baby girl. I don't think we are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down. Thank you. Take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again. Please All right, get okay, your members under here's control. the correct prodigy. Miss Green, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words, but I'm not apologizing.
Without objection,
Not apologizing.
21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Wait for it. It's me.
Miss Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
I'm sorry. I just gotta play that one more time. Okay. This is Congress leading the House, and watch James go.
But I'm not apologizing.
Without objection.
Not apologizing.
21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's
It's me.
Miss Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
Listen close. This is the nephew at work. Listen up. Let's go, cat dog.
Hello?
Hello, I'm trying to reach Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, who is this?
This is Terrence. I'm a president over here at OBB out of the Dallas chapter.
What is OBB? How did you get my number?
Okay, I got your number from Benjamin Crump. He gave me your number. And OBB is Our Black Businesses. I've met you before.
Does this sound like a genuine phone call? A lot of people, there's been a lot of chatter, a lot of disagreement. They wonder if it was staged. What do you think, Donovan?
It wouldn't surprise me if it was fake, because a lot of things are staged and a lot of it's for show. So, a lot of people are surprised that she stayed on the phone that long. I think that's what led people to believe that it was a fake phone call to make it seem more, I guess, to humanize her, I guess, in a way. But there's really no way to know for sure.
Well, I think the interesting thing is, she said, how did you get my number at one point in the call? And I'm pretty sure everybody's seen this. If you haven't, I'm sorry, spoiler alert. And she asks, and then most people were asking, well, do you really think that she would have answered the phone, not recognizing the phone number on the other end, or if it even popped up as an unknown caller, or if it popped up as some sort of, I would be interested to see what it popped up as, right? So yeah. I don't know. Let's continue on. What do you think, babe?
Only because I've watched it a couple times, that I know that it was, but it actually sounds like a real conversation.
It does. She did a good job.
Yeah.
If it was staged, she did a good job. Kudos to her.
Hey.
She earned her dollars that day. All right, let's keep going.
Didn't you work at Lee Merritt's office for a while? Civil rights attorney?
We worked together for a second. Yeah, we worked together for a second. Yeah.
Okay. We were about to get an award from the Dallas Morning News. We was about to get
well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, no, we didn't get it. So we was about to get a benchmark business award, which came with a $2 million grant where we could help a whole lot of black businesses. Now, the problem is we was denied that, and they saying they denied us from some stupid that you said on TV. So they saying that we got denied of a benchmark business award. They supposed to give us $2 million. We was going to help a lot of business with this. But some that you said on TV, and now they hesitant on giving black organizations any kind of fund.
Well, it probably ain't nothing that I said. It's probably something that Trump didn't say. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
At the end of the day, we need you not to say nothing for the next 4 years, because this just creates a big problem. Yeah.
Sir,
I
don't even know.
Listen, it's time to drain the swamp of these corrupt.
All right, guys. So that's what we have so far. Fire away. Rusty, we'll start with you. Then we'll end up with Donovan. I'll be right back.
Yeah, like I said, the conversation sounded real, and I could see something like that actually happening, knowing who she is and what she's about. And I'm sure she has ruffled some feathers with some people that are, in that area. Donovan, you're in that area. familiar with some of that stuff that's going on. You were probably the one that had this, maybe the most knowledgeable about some of that stuff that's going on. But it kind of did sound like something that really actually could happen based on some of the stuff that she does. She doesn't hold back anything. She's going on a lot of these talk shows, and she sounds the same in the halls of Congress as she does out here. You know, she says whatever she wants to say, and I could see where maybe somebody would take offense to that, and pretty much blame her. But let me know your thoughts on it, because I know that's kind of in your backyard.
Yeah, she, like you said, she says what she wants to say. So if it was real, then yeah, she spoke her mind, and if it was staged, and she did a great job in that. I agree, but I don't know if there's any way for us to really know for sure if that was a stage call or not. I like, even if it was real, you notice how she went to Trump. She blamed Trump. That's just the one thing they always
It's
go
the easiest thing to do, right?
Yeah. And Regina, you sent me that video. I think it was of Tatum saying that that's not who she really is. She moved to an all-girls school, and it costs a lot of money. She's a lawyer, and that's the way she acts in Congress, not who she really is. That's not who she was before. So she's trying to play a part, apparently, to fit in with what she thinks is how you're supposed to act being Black. That's what Tatum took from that.
Yes, she didn't even have that black scent or nothing. And while we're playing some other footage, I'll dig it and see if I can find it. Hey, you guys in the audience, let us know if you see it. Send us the link, because she was very clean cut. She didn't wear fake eyelashes. She articulated very grammatically correct. And she talks about Trump playing golf, which those were her recent statements, complaining that Trump is playing golf while certain things are going on, whatever. But my thing is, you're dancing in the halls of Congress and making your staff behind you do TikTok videos. So where do we draw the line? So that's the reason we kind of chose the topics that we had tonight. I'm trying to look over and see, let me ask you something. How should political figures balance authenticity with the potential for their words to be taken out of context? Because that seems to be the thing that she's always complaining about. She was upset because Marjorie, she was obviously being sarcastic when she said, Marjorie Taylor Greene, do you know why we're here, right? MTG could have said whatever. I don't know if it would have been any different whether she would have kept her composure and not made the eyelash reference. Either way, it always seems to be, I've never heard her take accountability for anything.
I do want to say I would love to see a ring match with those two. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene would, she's tough. She works out a lot. She's in great shape, and I think Marjorie Taylor Greene would take that one.
Well, she made the Butch body reference because before that, MTG was making TikToks and social media content where she was lifting weights in her garage and stuff. And that's really who she is. She doesn't have to play. She knows how to handle firearms. She knows how to do all of it. What can Jasmine Crockett do? We're not going to have a dance off to protect our border. I don't think having a dance off is going to make things okay. I don't know.
I agree.
I'll save my my commentary on because I do have something to say about her comments about and many other Democrats talking about Trump playing golf or whatever. So later on in a segment where we talk more about Trump and some other things that are going on, I'll save my comment about that, because I've heard some things all my life about stuff like that. So I want to say a few words about that, but I'll save that and when we're talking more about Trump.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'll make a note, because I'm going to pull that YouTube short that we did. That it was one of the first ones that we did that got even 1,000. It got like 7,000 views, and it was when Biden and Trump were debating, and Biden was complaining about Trump playing golf, and Rusty was like, he's not the president. If he wants to play golf, he can, so we'll play that. I want to hear your comments on it. All right. So you guys, guess what? There is a new person on the scene. Before, Jasmine Crockett was unopposed. That is no longer the case. Donovan, why don't you tell us who is on the scene? We'll watch the clip really quick, and then we'll jump into it.
Mr. Sheldon Daniels from District 30 in Dallas, not in my district, but he is in DFW, so I will be supporting him any way that I can. And I think he's a great candidate to remove Ms. Jasmine Crockett. He's professional, he's a family man. I think he could do a lot for here in the state of Texas and for Dallas. Dallas needs a lot of help. Dallas needs a lot of help. So Dallas is a blue city. They went a little bit to the right in 2024, but need that move to move a little bit more because we don't want Dallas is the sister. Dallas County is the sister county to Tarrant, and we want it to be all red. We don't want this big blue county, and then over in Tarrant County, we're pretty red. And the Democrats come after us pretty hard over in Tarrant. So we can get Dallas to move to the right, even go purple. It'll be great for the state of Texas.
Totally. So I do want to give flowers where flowers are deserved. So we found out about, or I did, Sheldon Daniels through our friend A Righteous Perspective, Our Man Wise. You can find him on the YouTube platform, Rumble platform, and X platform. He streams Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and the X platform. All right, guys. So let's jump into the next part of this, and we're going to meet Mr. Sheldon Daniels, and I think you guys will like him. You guys, any help that you could throw his way, he's looking for people to make phone calls, answer phone calls, knock on doors, whatever you can do. And I believe he said he has to reach a goal of 350K by a certain date, which is he's having a mixer, which is all in this video as well. So let's jump in. Y'all ready? Face first or feet first? Let's go face first. Let's go.
Black politicians. So we got Sheldon Daniels of TX30. So Jasmine Crockett will not be running unopposed. So Texas, y'all have no more excuses. She will be running against Sheldon Daniels, a Republican. Black people, do not be distracted by the fact that Sheldon is registered as a Republican. If Sheldon tells us that he is going to present a better way of life for your community, Sheldon is your guy, okay? It don't work for us, okay? It wasn't working for us. It hasn't worked for us. It's time to move on to different stuff.
Sheldon Daniels, your candidate for TX30's U.S. Representative seat 2026. Listen, I just wanted to thank all you guys for all the support. I really appreciate it. It's super humbling. And golly, man, it's exciting. I got to tell you guys that we are going to be victorious, and it's going to happen with you guys' help. So if you want to help, obviously, you can go to the website and donate. The big wigs say that I got to raise $350,000 by April 15th if I want to be taken seriously as a candidate by the big wigs and the national committee, president, and all that type of deal. So please, please, please donate if you can. If you can't donate, give me a follow, call a friend, share my posts, or go to my website and sign up to volunteer, and you can help make phone calls.
All right, sorry guys. So that is his website, right? I mean, not his website. This is him on the X platform, you guys. And he does post a lot. He's very active on the X platform. It looks like he's got a good team around him. So if you guys want more information, he left all the information in the in his post. So I would definitely recommend, checking this guy out. What do you guys think?
Come on, Texas, do the right thing. Help this guy out.
Yes.
Help America out, and let's get this guy in office and get Jasmine Crockett out of there. I don't think she's doing any good for anybody.
No.
Not for the state of Texas, and definitely not in Congress. I don't think for as long as she's been there, she's helped do get any laws passed or anything since she's been in Congress. So let's pull behind the new guy and try to see if we can get him in there, and maybe might see some change somewhere.
All right. So you asked, Donovan, I'm going to let you say your statement, but you asked and you shall receive. So apparently this footage is from Jasmine Crockett's first 2 weeks in Congress. And I believe this is her first year, her first term. I mean, she just got a re-election, I think. But anyway, what were you going to say? Go.
I was going to say, even if you live in another state, your donations help. $5, $10, $15, any amount that you can give to Mr. Sheldon Daniels' campaign, it will greatly help him achieve his goal of beating this crazy woman. I mean, she acts crazy. We don't need this person representing the state of Texas, representing Dallas-Fort Worth, specifically Dallas. And like the woman said in that video, don't be misguided by the fact that he's a Republican. Just vote for change. That's it. Vote for change. Vote for what's different than you've been voting for in the past. So I think he can make a great change in Dallas. At least we can start to see a little bit of sea change in the Dallas area if he wins. That'll be huge. So please go to his campaign website, retweet his stuff if you have an X account, donate $5, $10. Every bit helps.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I'll double down on that. I mean, the behavior, you know, if she's unreachable, she's touting all the time the bipartisan, it's Republicans' fault. It shouldn't be that way. The whole purpose of having them all in there is that we try to come together on the different things that we believe in and see if we can find common ground. Where are they looking for common ground? You guys, we have so much to get into because we're these hands-off rallies, all of this. But the third, you asked, and I'm glad you brought it up because that's been on my mind is, you know, she's not the same person. So if someone can change so dramatically, where is the real Jasmine Crockett? I guess would be the good question. So I haven't seen this footage. Let's check it out.
Congresswoman Crockett, it's so interesting saying that officially right now. So you're like 2 weeks into the job officially. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling encouraged. You know, what we saw that first week, the chaos, I absolutely believe that that's going to be.
So she's always worn the fake eyelashes, it looks like, but not as dramatic. But, you know, she looks more conservative. She's not as provocative. So
An ongoing theme in the U.S.
She doesn't
House.
have the hair
and
toss.
So long as the chaos stays across the aisle, I think that that does so much for us as we look to take the House back, as we look to maintain our control of the U.S. Senate, and as we look to hopefully maintain our place in the White House. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty encouraged.
Since you mentioned the chaos, let's talk about that. It wasn't even your first official day. You were waiting patiently to be sworn in, and we saw how that chaos and drama played out. 15 rounds.
Yeah.
Was that surprising to you?
It was. It was. I absolutely thought that they would get it figured out a lot quicker. And I'm used to working in a legislative body where whoever is controlling, whether it's a committee hearing or controlling the floor, they usually know how this is going to go. They've done their count, they've whipped their votes, and they don't bring it until they're ready. And so
Okay, I think we've heard enough of that. I don't really know what she's referencing. That was her first round. Maybe she was challenged. Maybe the results of the vote were challenged or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think she was talking about the speaker vote when they went 15 rounds to vote in the speaker. I believe that's what she's talking about.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. That would make sense, you guys. All right. So let's move on, you guys. Babe, you got anything else to say about that?
Not about that, but before we move on to our third segment, we need to squeeze in a word from our sponsor real quick. It's only 30 seconds. So let's get our sponsor information out there, out of the way, and then we'll jump back into the rest of the stuff.
Let's do it. All right. And I do want to do a huge shout out to Big Russ. He actually created this ad. So let's get into it.
Are you ready to take control of your health and wellness? Introducing Tranont Health Products, a premium line of nutrition and wellness supplements designed to support your body's natural balance. From essential vitamins and minerals to advanced detox formulas, Tramont's products are crafted with the highest quality ingredients to help you feel your best every day. Whether you're looking to boost energy, improve digestion, or support immune health, Tranont has something for everyone. Take the first step toward a healthier you with Tranont. Visit www.tranont.com/Regina Cannell to learn more and start your wellness journey today.
Thank you for that. And now we'll jump into our
regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, our next segment.
Let's jump into it. You guys, you can visit that website, tranont.com, www.tranont.com /Regina, Connell. I love it. It's two of everything. It's because Rusty Russell, they're like, how do you spell that? I'm like, it's two of everything. Two S's, two E's, two L's, two N's, two all of it. All right, let's go, guys. Y'all ready? You guys, I want to do a huge shout out to our viewers. We are growing exponentially. You guys, if you're watching on YouTube, we are streaming on Mixed Texan Report YouTube channel. We are streaming across West Virginia Wire YouTube channel. We are also streaming across Queen Connell 16. Queen Connell 16 is my favorite number. No, I don't have 16 kids. Queen Connell 16 on Rumble and the X platform, nor do I have 16 ex-husbands. Let's get into it.
This woman caused.
Oh, I didn't set this up, babe. So you guys, these are people who have gotten fired for either making content at work. They were caught, remember, and especially elected officials, right? No matter where we go, we are a constant representative. If we are in the military, then we constantly represent our military. Whatever company we work for, whether it be ourselves or someone else, we should always take pride because it should represent who we are, and we should be representing their core values in return. So you guys, that's what the preface of this is. This is a government official on an airline, and let's check it out. Is the first one.
On board her Delta flight.
That your name, you may not have a job tomorrow. I want this lady.
Now the tables have turned on Susan Perez. She's been placed on leave during an investigation for throwing her weight around.
For the governor.
Yep, it turns out the woman who got all sorts of attention for her obnoxious behavior works for the New York State Council on the Arts. Now Perez's name and image have been removed from the council's official website, and she's been placed on a leave of absence. The drama began when Perez boarded the Delta flight from JFK to Syracuse, New York, and was seated in the back of the plane. Marissa Rundell and her 8-month-old son, Mason, were in the same aisle. Rundell says Perez was cursing about her seat assignment.
I said, please don't use that language in front of my son. And she turned around and saw me, and she said, shut the up.
It escalated from there when the passenger complained about sitting next to the 8-month-old boy.
He's not going to cry the whole time.
Then a flight attendant stepped in.
We can put you on the next flight. Thank your name. Tabitha 9766. Thank you, Tabitha. You may not have a job tomorrow. I want this lady.
Perez instantly backed off.
I can't, Tabitha. I have to. I apologize. Please, no. I apologize. All right. I apologize. I have to be in this fight.
It kind of made me laugh when she started to apologize, because you don't just go from being a psycho to apologizing and acting like she did nothing wrong. She totally deserved to get kicked off the plane.
You may not have a job tomorrow. I want this lady. No, I can't.
All right, guys, what do you think about that?
I think that happens probably more often than not, honestly, and it happens from people that you normally wouldn't expect it to happen from. They claim to be, important people and, in important roles, but yet their behavior in public is worse than ours, who they tend to look down on, most of the time. But that I see it all the time in my line of work, and it happens everywhere you go.
Yeah, so that crazy lady, she said she works for the governor of New York.
I don't know if it was the governor, but she had.
She said the governor's office. No, she works for. It sounds like
counsel or something.
Right. So she doesn't work directly for the governor's office. They are contracted to. So whether it's an appointed position, but she just works for that office. But because it's connected to the governor's office, I believe that she's touting, hey, right.
You're representing the governor's office.
And you are. You absolutely are.
Yeah. I mean, if I worked for, if I was working for, if I was connected to Governor Abbott's office, you wouldn't see me acting a fool on a plane, telling people to shut the F up and all this. I'm going to have your job. That's not okay. There, I don't know if you remember Sheila Jackson Davis. She was a representative here in Texas. She passed away, I think, last year, maybe 2 years ago. But I I know somebody who is a pilot, and she was on one of his planes, and he said she is a complete B. She was a complete B in person, entitled, rude, demanding stuff. So this doesn't surprise me at all. You know, she had the attitude of, "Do you know who I am?" You know,
Yeah.
I'm
We
Sheila Jackson, so I need to be treated a certain way.
Yeah, and there was a big story that popped off not too long ago about a woman who was actually the DA. She was the DA, and a policeman pulled her over for going 15 to 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. And I mean, the way she acted, the first rule of thumb, and she was like, "Well, I'm gonna be trying my own case." I mean, and the sergeant even said, "Ma'am, no." So yeah, I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. I could go off on a whole tangent on law enforcement. Anna just recently found out, I'm going to be doing a piece on this, so stay tuned, you guys. That West Virginia state trooper is now suing the West Virginia state police department, and he was a big person in the police department. There's too much suing going on. I don't know what's going on. There was also a Boone County man who just got convicted or charged with taking millions of dollars from the school system. Where was the county commission board when all this was going on? How was this going on? If it was separate, it shouldn't be separate. And you wonder why the federal government wants to abolish federally the Department of Education. This is why. All right, so that's my piece. All right, this second one, you guys, is going to be hard to watch. Let me just warn you. So if you have a loved one who has to get home health care, any of that, my sister-in-law, in fact, does this for a living. I wonder if Abby's watching. I wonder what she would think about this. All right, you guys, here we go. So we got this content. You got to check this out. Let's do it.
Officer, this video right here. This healthcare worker is going viral for posting videos of herself dancing on top of her patients' heads. I don't know whether she's a nurse, whether she's a CNA, but this is unprofessional as hell. Some people are going as far as to say that this is SA, because why are her lady bits dingling over his head like that? And then these patients appear to be disabled. So can they even properly consent to this?
Come in and chill with me. Come bleed with me. Go down your hair. You heard what Gucci said.
She also made a video addressing the outrage she got from her posting the video that is now deleted of her dancing over the man in the green. Basically, she said that her patient is verbal, like that makes it any better, and that angles play a big part, and that everything is not how it seems. Got it. Anywho, people were quick to identify her. That's her username at the bottom, but her real name is Lucretia Coyen. She's 19 years old and works at SNL Healthcare in Atlanta, Georgia. Based off of the services they provide, it looks like they do home health care.
19 years old. And what do you bet she's got an OnlyFans page? And that was probably for her OnlyFans page. You guys,
disgusting.
It is disgusting. Don't lose heart, though, because there's a happy ending to this story, but not for her. So what do you think? I want to hear your full thoughts as men. As men, sound off.
Well, I'm going to say it's disgusting for one. And you were saying, my sister is in that line of work. And then my stepdad is a disabled, bedridden,
multiple stroke victim, paraplegic, all of it.
And I can only imagine, a nurse coming in for the day to look after him while my mom went to work or whatever. Luckily, she doesn't have to do that. She gets to stay home with him or whatever. But these patients they probably don't even understand or know where they're at. And it's just a mockery of them being sick and not knowing. There's no way they consented to that, like not in their condition. They're not in their right mind to be able to consent to that. That's just it's disgusting for anybody to do it. But that's what our youth is doing this day and time with access to social media, TikTok. I'm not saying all TikTok or all social media is bad, but when you use it in this way, it is. And I could
Yeah.
care less to have some of those things. I'm not a huge TikTok person. I know there are some people that use it for good, but
Yeah.
in this case, I wouldn't care if it went away tomorrow because you would get rid of stuff like that.
Yeah. And
Sound off,
it's hard
Donovan.
it's hard to keep, to filter all that out. So like a lot of people use it for good, for their businesses, and people make a lot of money from it in a good way. But when you use it for something like this, you're taking advantage of somebody. Like Big Russ said, they don't know where they are a lot of the time. So it's really sad. But anyway, you should be doing this on your own time. If you're going to do something like this, do it on your own time. Don't do it when you're caring for somebody. It's not right.
Right. I mean, yeah. So let's finish watching, and this one's almost done, you guys. And there is a happy ending, though. Let's go.
Which does support the theory that she's probably a CNA. Regardless, I've heard that she's been reported to the nursing boards just in case. Yep.
And that is her mugshot, guys.
Oh.
That is her
Oh, gosh.
mugshot. Yes, sir. Can you believe that's the same one? Can you believe that's the same
a
one?
real man. Never taught you how to be a real man.
So we went from this.
Time. Okay. A lot of people in the comments talking about all I gotta say for now is
I mean, that's just
Big part, ma'am.
abhorrent.
What?
Abhorrent
What?
to this.
Yo. Part, ma'am. What?
Just all like
What?
the healthcare worker that's dancing on top of her patient is not what it is. Trust and believe. All I gotta say for now is Angles.
So that's her defending herself, saying it's not what you think. I mean, he consented to it, but she's locked up now, thankfully. So that's the end of that.
Is that the happy ending? Is that she got locked up for it?
It is. She got
Nice.
locked up for it.
Nice.
That's her
Well, she doesn't seem
mugshot
to
right there,
care.
baby. That's her. You
Yeah,
believe
and
that's her?
No, and she's smiling about it because she doesn't care, like Donovan said.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
She
Totally.
does not care, but she deserves to be locked up for doing something like that.
Hopefully
couldn't
that'll
agree
teach
more.
her a lesson.
Do you think it will?
Probably not, but hopefully it does because
No.
I guarantee she doesn't spend any time. She's probably got out within a couple hours.
You know
of
she
that,
did.
and
Mm-hmm. Those are pretty
Yeah,
serious charges, though, because that's like, I mean, that's SA. That's SA on someone who's not able to. It's just that I just can't even. I think I heard it first. I'm not even gonna say their names, but because I'm a little disappointed in them right now. But anyway, I heard it from them first. But I started seeing it everywhere, and I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. Like, who does this? But apparently, and that Johnny Somali, the dude, wasn't he the one responsible for putting the bug spray on the food and stuff? And then he went over to South Korea, and started spouting North Korean rhetoric, doing vile, atrocious, abhorrent things to their sacred objects. I mean, just people are doing anything for. And then what about the women that have like 7, 8, 10 kids? And God knows how many baby daddies, and they're living in hotel rooms. They're doing TikToks, begging people for money. I'm not sure I understand. And the welfare is going away. So what are they going to do now?
Hey, get on TikTok.
They're already on there, man.
Yeah, stay on TikTok. You make some money,
I
But
don't know.
no, it's not
Maybe
right.
I'm
It's
doing
not right.
something wrong then, because I ain't making no money on TikTok. Frick truck.
what else we got? What else is in your lineup?
Yeah, baby, we got 2 more things to get through. So the next thing we are getting into are you familiar with the hands-off rallies?
Yeah, I am, because they had them, I think, in like almost every major city across the country, all on the same day. So they were
This past
everywhere.
weekend.
That's all that was on the news, was all these crazy lunatic people out there
You guys, I gotta say, look,
protesting.
there was supposed to be one in Wheeling, West Virginia. I looked. I mean, even the paper.
There was one in Charleston.
So it was in Charleston.
Yeah,
There
they
was
had
one
one
in
in they had one
Charleston.
in Charleston. Bunch of
Did you
damn
seriously?
lunatics out there. There's lunatics everywhere. You could go to any red state. They were out there out and about doing their thing, and you could go to blue states and it was probably bigger. But
Well, you
but
know,
the,
there's a lot of chatter saying that they believe that these things, they're being paid for these. I mean, it just seems way too organized.
oh yeah,
Just like the riots from 2020, a lot of that was orchestrated, and somebody was paying for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
do you have a couple of clips or some footage of these crazy people in action? We don't have to go through a long clip or anything, but
We're going through the clip
just
I have prepared.
Yeah.
I took a lot of time to prepare it. So
Go
if
ahead, I
anybody
didn't-
has to go between now and then, I'll stay here by myself. Let's go.
Yesterday, massive anti-Trump protests broke out all across the
Decoy
country,
voice, I love
from
him.
Boston all the way to Chicago, covering the streets of Washington, D.C. But as online journalist Nick Shirley shows us, these guys were idiots.
I just want to remind you of protest procedure. Don't film unless it's consent of anyone's faces. And we'd ask if you
We're on public property, though, so we can film.
Are you part of the protest?
Hey, easy, dude. You don't have our consent to do this.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me!
Whoa.
Don't touch me!
I didn't touch you.
You touched me! Don't touch me!
He's touching
Can we
him.
have someone around these people, please?
Don't let me go. Ooh, what are you gonna do?
Elbows!
Elbows. What the hell's going on out here?
I mean, if you met something dark and ugly in a dark back alley, would you feel safe with that guy? I mean, this is just crazy. Keep watching. Watch what he does.
Bro, these
Look at him.
Help! Help! He's hurting me! Help!
You look like a fool. I'm not.
Help!
I have no idea how you can outnumber a guy 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, did you see that, babe? He
Mhm.
put his arms full on around that guy and was screaming himself for help. Let's keep going because it gets even better.
I told you
good-
I told you there's a bunch of lunatics.
They
Like
they are. Wait,
every one of them. I mean, you can go through that crowd, and you would find it very, very difficult to find a normal person in that crowd of people.
I say it's a brave person that sticks on a MAGA hat. I mean, why inflame the nest? I mean, I would probably go in there
Yeah.
and want to talk to them, see if I could get them to engage in conversation with me, but I'm not going to go in there with a MAGA hat. I know why she did it. She did. I mean, it's just to prove a point. It is true, and there are people, if you go back and watch Decoy Voice, and he's doing live streams now, you got to go check him out. But they have professional protesters, right? I think Kingdom Reacts just reported on it, where they spotted the same like 2 or 3, 4 handful of people that are going around and they're meeting each other at these rallies. So there is a big form of organization, but that's a waste of a professional protester. Let's go.
Oh man.
Yeah, talk loud. I don't have my mic on. I'm not really good into interviews.
And what brings you out here today?
What doesn't?
Can you explain a little bit for our viewers what this means?
Go ahead.
Raise your hand
How many of y'all think that that's that man's wife? Let's keep going.
Kakistocracy. Government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state.
How many of y'all think that she made that list for him and wanted him to read it out? I firmly believe that too.
Seems to fit, doesn't it?
We don't live in a democracy. We're living in an oligarchy. Fighting for the 1%. It's not us that they represent. No.
This is according to a CNN reporter who says not only did the word oligarchy spike in searches, but people were asking what that word meant. Let's give this a read. Quote, Google searches for oligarchy spiked last night when Biden warned that an oligarchy is taking shape in America. An oligarchy is when a small group of people have control of the government, which is an accurate description of what we're about to have in America.
And I wanted to inject before we get into the tariffs when everybody was crying about the stock market and all of that. What is the statistic on that? That 90% of the stock market is owned by 10% of, how does it go? I can't remember, but it's 90% of the stock market is owned by 10% of billionaires, which means 10% of there's only 10% of the stock market available to common people like us that really could have any kind of return or productive whatever portfolio. And especially when Biden made it easier for people to take their money out, which I'm all for. If you're putting your money in a 401k, if you're fully vested, you should be able to take your quarterly profits and take them out when you want to. And the vested match, I get why they do that to keep it in there for so long, but I think you should be able to take your money out when you want to. That's just my opinion. All right, let's finish this out. The last segment, it's only 3 minutes on that segment 5, but we're going to finish this video really quick.
Oh, I don't think we're witnessing the start of an oligarchy. I think we are fully here. You literally.
Now wait for this. Angela Rose, she went to the rally, bless her heart.
Just get out of here.
So they really are unhappy that we're allowed to stand where we want. I'm not allowed downtown?
No, I think if you don't get the sign, though, you're probably not at the right place because it's pretty self-explanatory.
Trigger warning, this woman's voice will annoy you.
Sorry.
Well, that's why I'm here, so I can learn.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're trying to prove to the world something, and so you must have a very strong passion for this. What exactly is it that you hate so much about the Trump administration?
The jeopardy to humanity and human rights. There's climate change, there's science, there's medicine.
So climate change, would you think that electric vehicles help with that?
Rights, there's women's rights, there's Department of Education, there's Head Start, there's that.
And so your rights have been taken away after Trump won the presidency?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Being here, protesting?
If I have an accidental pregnancy.
How would you have an accidental pregnancy? Tell us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Being here, protesting?
If I have an accidental pregnancy.
How would you have an accidental pregnancy? Tell us.
I have an IUD, which is about 99% effective.
Okay, so if it's, you know what's 100% effective is abstinence.
Sure, absolutely.
Here, go back. You are elected in your own living room. Your policies are taking away children's lunches. Doing little shitty things. What if you go?
These are the people claiming to protect children. Just want to remind y'all of that.
I told you they're all lunatics. It's just a whole big hundreds of thousands of Karens out there. That's all that is a whole bunch of men and women Karens out there. That's anytime you see a Karen, like I guarantee everyone on the face of the earth is at these rallies right there. There's not a Karen that didn't attend these
I want
rallies.
to know who the F Karen is. What character did Karen come from? Like Karen just came out of nowhere. You know, Karen, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Yeah, because this is. Well, we're all Americans, right?
I think that.
Disclaimer, you guys, this is very violent, and this is the last part. I think you've seen this one, haven't you, Mixed Texan? Babe, we've all seen it. You guys, yeah, if this is horrible. And I really want you to listen to this woman's thinking, the woman who is the purveyor of this act of violence against this other woman, and the things that she says. And I believe she truly believes what's coming out of her mouth. Listen up.
You just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really kids in foster care and
why not? Why not? If that's the case,
we should kill the kids in foster care that aren't wanted.
Who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them
who make them like personal slaves.
You should just kill them.
Statistics before you.
I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Hey friends, I just passed the Dunkin' Donuts, which is the
Donovan.
most vague possible location I could possibly give you in
So Sean Parrish posted this, and he
Dunkin'
was
Donuts,
like,
which is the most vague possible location I could possibly give you in
male or
Massachusetts.
female. Let's play
But
male or female.
besides being near a
What
Dunkin'
say
Donuts,
you?
which places me somewhere.
He said, "What say you?" And so my post was, wait for it. I'm gonna go with which. Whoa, man.
Oh man,
Isn't that something?
that caught me off guard.
Go
seeing
around the
that thing.
country and educate
Here's your
people
girl,
about
Donovan. That's your girl.
what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton.
All right, and that's all from her, you guys. And I will just say it again. My father picked cotton at 5 years old. Do with that what you will. We do identify as Caucasian when we have to check those boxes. So I don't know what that means. It ain't just black people, black folk that pick cotton and do those various jobs. And I'm not really sure what she was getting at on that one. You guys, let's get the thoughts from Big Russ and Donovan and Mixed Texan Report. And then we're going to go into our final segment. We've got about 3 minutes left, and we're going to catch up on the meeting with Bibi Netanyahu and our President Trump and see what happened. What do you think, Donovan? What did you think about all that? So you weren't familiar with hands-off rallies. What do you think about them?
Well, like Russ said, a bunch of lunatics, hundreds of thousands. First, I want to get to the Karen thing. I think the Karen thing came from around COVID time. It was like a white woman who just complains a lot and makes a lot of noise in the store and demands things, entitled, somebody like that. It's hard to pinpoint exactly how to describe it, in my opinion, but I think it came from around the COVID era. So it's like just an angry white woman.
See, because the first Karen I saw was black at a Wendy's crawling over the. So
They can be any color, but the original one came as a as a lady that needs to speak to the manager at every. It doesn't matter if it's a store, retail, restaurant, whatever.
So it ain't about your skin color, baby.
It is. It's, I need to talk to the manager.
Do you remember when I started my first TikTok account, TikTok, and I decided I was going to do that alter ego Karen, because who the F is Karen? So I decided to do my alter ego. It was my twin Karen that I guess I did a male voiceover that's the, hey, this is Karen with Karen's Corner. I'm having to stay with sister these days, but that's okay. And like just say stupid stuff like be that trans, I identify as Bitemporary or whatever they're doing these days. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, that was the hands-off rally.
Well, that okay. I'm glad you clarified that because I didn't know that. I guess the way maybe I saw it online somewhere that it was identified by race, but I'm glad to know that it could be anybody. Like you said, I want to speak to the manager, and that's okay. That makes that makes a lot of
But
sense.
that's what they want us to believe. That's why you guys, that's why it's important to get, feedback, opinions. I mean, my friend Mo Ryland, he's on YouTube and TikTok and all of that. He teaches me the latest slang and stuff like that. We talk. I was like, because I had heard chopping it up. I was like, I guess it's a guy reference. I don't know. I never heard that. And he was like, yeah, chopping it, talking. I was like, okay, all right, cool beans. We'll talk about it later. But anyway, all right, guys. So any last final thoughts? You guys, if there is a hands-off rally, what are they even,
Well, I mean, my thing is like
Teslas.
they rallied against Elon Musk or what they call oligarchies, Well, the only one that they're referring to is Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
But yet on the Democrat side, there's billionaires over there too that have donated money, paid them to protest, like those are oligarchs too. Like why is the only oligarch have to be Elon Musk? You know, and he's actually trying to do things to save the country for these idiots that keep opposing it. Like it's going to help them tremendously, and they don't even get, like, they're so stupid they don't even get it. Like,
It would be one thing if their billionaires were in pesos or denarii or something like that. That's not even close to the U.S. dollar. But I mean, they're billionaires in U.S. dollar. Like it's the hypocrisy of it.
they're out there tearing up Teslas, and Elon doesn't even own the dealerships that he started the car company, but he doesn't even own all these dealerships. Like he benefits when people buy these vehicles because it's Tesla's the name that he came up with, but they think that going and destroying these Teslas is hurting Elon. It's not even hurting Elon. He just doesn't get the hate behind it, and neither do I. Like he's a multi-billionaire, and you're not hurting him at all by destroying. It's not hurting his name. It's not hurting. You're just being hateful and doing all these bad things, and you're hurting your common neighbors more than you're hurting. You know, they're going to the grocery store, keying people's cars. That's like the person that lives in your neighborhood. Why the hell are you doing that to the people in your neighborhood?
Exactly. You're hurting, like you said, you're hurting the person who owns the car. You're hurting the people at the dealership who sell the cars. I mean, why do you go burn down a business? Like you say, you're not hurting Elon Musk directly. You're impacting those in your community a lot more. So it doesn't make any sense to me. It's
What about Tim Walz's estate? What about him putting the three? You know, he's celebrating that Tesla was losing money in the stock market, and their retirement portfolio, their city's portfolio, their state's portfolio is 3.5% is Tesla stock. I'm sorry, keep going though. That's what you were saying made me think of that.
Well, that's a great point. That's a great point. I think it was like the teachers or something there. Their pension is someone is invested in Tesla. So you're cheering this stuff on, but at the same time, you're hurting the people inside your own state. That's why he's an idiot, and I hope that he gets primary, but I'm so glad he's not our vice president. I think that is first and foremost, we need to address that this man is not our vice president.
Agreed.
So
Is it
Is
Ramaswamy running against him? Vivek Ramaswamy?
No.
Am I in the wrong state?
Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Ohio. Good luck. Can't keep on top of it. Who's going to primary against him, do you think? Tim Walz.
Against that'll be a tough state to win. And that's a blue state. I mean, I think Trump got within like 7 points. So and he almost won in 2016 actually over there. So it's not entirely impossible, but it is tough. It will be tough for any Republican to win that state. So we can only hope.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to get into the final segment of tonight. We thank you so much for joining us. If we've kept your attention this long, hey, hit that like, share, make sure you're subbed up on Mixed Texan Report YouTube channel and West Virginia Wire YouTube channel. You can find us on the X platform. I'm at Queen Connell 16, and this is at Mixed Texan on the X platform. On the Rumble platform, I am at Queen Connell 16 and Mixed Texan. All right, you guys, we are West Virginia Wire. Let's get into this last segment. It's about 3 minutes long, and this one's on Trump's tariffs. We'll get to see a little bit of the meeting that he had with Prime Minister Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Let's jump in.
And now that they're angry about Trump's new tariffs, just like clockwork, Democrat leader Nancy Pelosi encouraged exactly what Trump is doing back in 1996.
And there are those who say we shouldn't link human rights and trade and proliferation in trade. I disagree. But if we just want to take up this issue on the basis of economics alone, in terms of tariffs, I think it's interesting to note that the average U.S. MFN tariff on Chinese goods coming into the United States is 2%, whereas the average Chinese MFN tariff on U.S. goods going into China is 35%. Is that reciprocal?
Issues every American faces today, as China just launched their Temu version of Trump on TikTok.
Folks, we're in Chongqing, the city of hot pot of China, and we have to eat hot pot today. She understands me from the.
Have you been watching the markets today?
And so that is when Bibi Netanyahu arrived at the White House. They're asking him, what about the stock market? Do you want to comment on the stock market? And they're like, no, we're going inside. We're going to meet, and we got some business to tend to. Here we go.
I want to first thank you for inviting me again to the White House. You've been a remarkable friend of the State of Israel. You stand by us. You're standing with us. You are a great, great champion of our lives. And you actually do things that you say you do. And I think that people respect that enormously. I certainly do, and the people of Israel do. And I think the Jewish people. Tyranny of Hamas in Gaza and enabling the people of Gaza to freely make a choice to go wherever they want. I mean, they should have that choice. And the president put forward a vision, a bold vision, which we discussed, including the countries that might be amenable and are amenable. And the president of the United States for this purpose. And of course, we also discussed Iran. Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons. If it can be done diplomatically in a full way, the way it was done in Libya, I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons. That's the end of my speech.
Mr. President, wait. We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it.
Sorry, guys. I just got a message that threw me off. All right, so that's what we've got, you guys. What do you think about these tariffs? A lot of people are upset about them. I mean, we could talk for hours about tariffs. I think they're a good thing. And I believe Trump just, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he just announce that he's strongly pushing for Congress to abolish the Internal Revenue Service?
Yeah, there's a whole lot that goes along with the tariff thing, and it's not going to be a overnight. We're not going to see results overnight that are going to affect your average person and stuff. I don't know if they're going to work or they're not going to work, but I trust the person that we put in office to run our country. I trust him and his judgment, and I think that if he feels like he can make that work, but I do like the fact that he's the only president in my lifetime that's ever stood up and tried to do something to make things fair as far as trade deals, because we have been losing billions and billions of dollars to other countries while they get rich. Like, most of these countries would probably be third world countries or worse without the United States, and they don't get it. And their way of paying us back is to charge us these ridiculous tariffs on products that we get from them. Like, that's not, it's not right. And I'm glad that we finally have somebody who's willing to stand up and fight for us.
Yeah.
And if you don't want higher prices on things that you think are going to go up, then buy the stuff that we make here in the United States. Like, who is against buying American made stuff? Like, and the people that are complaining, the people that are complaining the most actually have money, more money than your common people who are not complaining about that. The people that are in support of this are probably less off and could use a break financially, but are willing to pay an extra $5 for an item.
Well,
to
that's
make
what
sure
people
that
are upset about. They're upset because, oh, I'm sorry, I can't buy, I have to sell 3 of my cars. I can only afford to have 1 of my cars. That's what people are like, what? What? This is the world peace, feed the world, make sure everyone has a home party. Are you making sure everybody's got a Bentley? We don't care about Jaguar. I've never seen a car commercial that didn't include the car in the commercial.
If you want to buy a new car, then buy one that's made in America.
America.
You can't go over to some of these other countries and buy Ford or Chevy, but they don't have them over there. They don't even allow you to sell them over there. So why are we all mad at? And
Agreed.
So I don't know if they'll work, but I know it's not going to be overnight. I know it's not going to be next month or next, but by the time Trump's 4 years in office is over, we will be in a much better shape for the foreseeable future for our kids, and that's what we really need to be. And that's what Trump's trying to do, is just set it up good for the country where it can't really go backwards again.
I completely,
We eventually tariffs will take over, and we'll be able to get back to where we're keeping our hard-earned money, and we're not paying most of our income to taxes. These tariffs will take the place of that eventually. But a lot of people that are mad about the tariffs right now just think that that something has to happen like really quickly overnight, or it's a bad idea.
No, the only reason they're saying that is because they're pissed at Trump. It has nothing to do. Listen, they're against anything that is not their way of thinking, is the way that it seems to me, right? So, Donovan, before
my very last comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My very last comment, and I'll shut up, is the one that I mentioned earlier. All these people that are complaining about Donald Trump being on the golf course, if you know the sport of golf and if you've ever played golf before, you know how much time it takes to play a round of golf. There are more business deals throughout America that are made on a golf course than anywhere else. You can go sit in an office all you want to, but I'm telling you, there are more business deals no matter what the business is. Salespeople take their customers or prospects on the golf course to play golf because you're right there beside each other. You've got 4 or 5 hours with somebody, which is more beneficial. You're having fun and you're playing golf, and you can get into these conversations on a golf course much better than you can at a lunch meeting or in the office or whatever. So do not think that Donald Trump is out there having fun. He may be having fun, but he is making business deals while he's on that golf course. I'll guarantee you he's got his phone with him and he's doing work while he's out there. So shut up about him, using taxpayer money to go play golf. I'm supportive of it. Go play more golf because you'll get more work done there than you will listen to fake news media at the White House. So
I agree with you. So I do want to hear what you have to say about Trump's tariffs, but I also, one thing that we really didn't cover, but I really want to know because it's a lot of talk. What do you think about Kristi Noem's photo ops that she's been doing and all of that? A lot of people aren't happy about that, understandably so, and Representative Paulina Luna. So give us your thoughts on tariffs. Babe, that was amazing. And I agree with you. More deals are made on the golf course. Why aren't more people golfing? And even in gyms and places like that, I think they are. So give us your thoughts on tariffs. Give us your thoughts on these, if they're real or if they're photo ops. I'm not sure. So tell us what you think. And then before we close out, we're going to get a final word from our sponsor. And then Donovan's going to tell you where to find him everywhere. Tell us what you think, man.
Yeah, I think that the tariffs, I think, are he has the right intentions for it. For one, Obama used tariffs too. You could find a video of Obama talking tough on tariffs, how he put tariffs on China for sending cheap tires to America, and how he's trying to protect the American workers. So where was the outrage back then when Obama said it?
Nancy Pelosi, we just watched her. What happened? Keep going.
You can hear Obama talking tough on the border, and for one, Obama did do a great job on the border. I give credit where credit is due. So Obama just had much more secure border than Joe Biden, but that's besides the point. I think Trump is doing a what needs to be done a long time ago, and the U.S. economy is so big and powerful that I believe only 15% of our economy is from trade. The other 85% is from everything else. We have the biggest, most powerful economy in the world. So these other countries need us more than we need them. So what he's doing with these tariffs is he's trying to get other companies to invest in our country and create more jobs, more manufacturing. And also with the whole stock market thing, I think the average person who understands a little bit of what's going on is not panicking. I think they know the best way to go is just hold. Don't sell your stocks. Look, I'm not an advisor, but I'm just saying the average person that knows a little bit about this knows the best way to go is to hold your stocks. Don't panic sell, and just ride the wave. It'll be okay. Trump put in tariffs the last time. It got a little bumpy, but then we had the tax cuts, so which I think it is very important that Congress, the Senate, and the House move quickly on this because they can provide some of these tax cuts for the American economy to be rocket fuel for us. So it'll kind of offset what we're with the whole tariff thing. But I think that was a great move today by lowering the reciprocal tariffs to 10% and really hammering in on China and putting a 90-day pause on some of these tariffs and lowering it, because you saw what happened to the stock market. Almost 3,000 points for the Dow Jones. And they were talking about Trump crashed, a recession coming. The Dow, he's tanking the stock market. Well, he made one Truth Social post and the stock market shot up, record numbers like we've never seen before. So
I want to double down on what you're saying. 1.5 billion just off the top of my head, or I'm sorry, I'm going to give you the numbers. You tell me what it equals. I think it equals 1.5 trillion. Russ helped me with the math on that one. So Massa, we know, agreed to invest 500 billion. Originally it was 100 billion, and Trump said, oh, come on, 200. And then he went full 500. I think Bill Gates and Bo Zuckerberg have agreed to 500 billion a piece. So that's 1.5 trillion. I could be mistaken, but I do know that Zuckerberg agreed to 500 billion. So, and that's just, those two are American. And then you think about Massa, and then there's also other foreign. So why is no one counting that money? Why aren't people talking about that?
There's 4 or 5 different companies that have already planned to put that much money, like 300 to 500 billion investments into the United States. That right there is going to bring all the manufacturing that they're talking about. Yes, there's no manufacturing now because it all got shipped overseas, but it's coming back. And and that's where my point was, that it is going to take a little bit of time to get back, because these plants have been shut down. They have to build these plants,
right,
in order to do that. Apple's getting ready to do 500
data
billion
centers.
or something. Yeah, so it's coming. It's just it may take a year or so to build these manufacturing plants and then hire the people. But then the couple of years to 10, 20 years after that, gonna be boom, like major.
Well, how many companies has Texas brought, not just internationally, but stateside? Like, people are moving from California, relocating to Texas. Zuckerberg just did last year. Remember when Elon Musk made the announcement that he was moving to Texas? Remember, I was like, what? I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So Texas is a real hot spot for,
it's a big spot here for investments, companies moving here, bringing jobs, which is why Texas continues to thrive on an economic scale. So just imagine if tons of companies in countries overseas do the same thing. Trump, I heard him say, this is what he says. He says, I've secured $5 trillion in investment. So, I
I
mean,
didn't know.
that's what he said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is amazing.
And that's why, like I said, all these people are making all these negative comments and stuff because they don't understand how business works and that it's going to take time. Like when he started talking about steel, one of the largest steel manufacturing companies is building 1 million square foot steel manufacturing plant right here in West Virginia. Nucor is building one of the largest in the country, and Trump had mentioned them as being one of the people that's coming here and investing. It's going to bring a lot of jobs and some money to our state and to the country here. So it's stuff like that. But I mean, they started building that months ago. I mean, they're not anywhere close to being finished. It's going to take the rest of this year and maybe into, I think, half of 2026 for it to be operational. So that's the timeline that we're sitting on, year and a half for a plant to be built, and then the manufacturing starts going after that.
How much of that though do you think is actually red tape? Like, because I've seen some projects go up I mean, it depends on of course, the sheer amount, the size of the project that they're talking about doing, right? But I mean, 2 years to build a plant?
It does
takes that long?
It does.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about what you're saying is that's also creating construction jobs right there.
Yeah. Right now they've got over 1,000 construction workers on that job site working, which is great for a state like ours that depends on the hardworking, like people that work with their hands
Blue collar
every day. Yeah. So that's very, very good.
You have to buy supplies that helps those guys out
your
who
hardware
make
stores and stuff.
There you go.
People that make all these supplies.
Home Depot, there you go. So there's jobs right there.
All right, guys. So we're going to get a final word from our sponsor that made tonight's show possible. We thank you, Ternant. You guys, we thank you for viewing. We're going to come back after this short ad, and Donovan is going to tell you where to find him. I think by now you guys already know, but if you're just coming in, we'll say it again. We don't mind. All right, we'll be right back with you.
Do you know why they're terrified of you? Because you are capable of everything they said couldn't be done. I realized I've been asking permission subconsciously. I've been waiting, but no more. Just because you see someone being successful doesn't mean they aren't still learning, still growing, still adapting. And I'm grateful for the days when I can slow down, take some time to think about these things, and come to some powerful conclusions.
All right, you guys, we covered a lot tonight. We talked about content creation at work. Should we expect the people that are paying us to do a job for them to pay us to do extracurricular stuff that we're making a side hustle on? I'm not so sure. And when we work for someone, we should be the same as we are on the job as we are off the job. We are always a constant representation of that. Trump's tariffs, let's trust the process. I think that it will work. Jasmine Crockett, Sheldon Daniels, we are rooting for you, sir. Keep going. I think that's everything we covered. Anybody got any final closing statements?
Well, I think we did a great job. That was a lot of fun. We should do this again.
Yeah.
Covered some great topics and had a lot of fun. So yeah, it was good.
Thanks for coming on tonight. I know it went a little bit longer than we had expected it to, but
your wife, thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, one last thing. It was Donovan's birthday this past week. You guys, please wish him a happy birthday. His birthday was the 4th. So happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday, my brother. And
thank you very much.
Thank you again for coming on with us. And hopefully we can do this again, like you said. So
yeah. Absolutely. I'm open to that. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I've got as far as closing remarks. It was a lot of fun and can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we thank you for watching. We thank you for tuning in. You guys, go check out our content. Mixed Texan Report is always giving you the latest, the hottest on immigration, on crazy stuff going on, and not just in Texas, but nationwide as well.
Yep.
All right, you guys tune into West Virginia Wire for everything West Virginia and national things. And there will be future collabs with Mixed Texan Report. And don't worry, Big Russ is always on the scene. And you guys stay tuned. Easter. Yes, we're still working on those pre-records for Faithful Footsteps of the Old Testament Trail, where we are about to jump into the flood. We just finished out the book of Enoch. So you guys, we thank you for everything. You guys go check out Freely Social and everything else. All right, guys, we love your faces, and we'll see you next time right here on West Virginia Wire. Be blessed. Wait, that's happening now? What? Stop this madness.
Rise and shine. It's a brand new day. Got the world on my mind. Ain't no time to play. Chasing dreams, running fast, feeling no delay. We're the watchdogs, always watching what they say. Eyes wide open, we're taking what's ours. Breaking through the silence, aiming for the stars.